Greetings, football enthusiasts! As we know, football is a passionate sport for many reasons, and one of those reasons is the entertaining tricks and skills that we see footballers pull off now and then. They are exciting to watch, except when done against your team, but many of these tricks are frowned upon. Not only this, some have been banned outright, and those are the ones that we will discuss today. Now, the thing is, how is it possible for football tricks to be banned? Isn't the main goal to amaze the audience and showcase your abilities? Alright folks, here's the deal. Not all tricks are equal, and some are too risky to pull off in competitive play. Let's start with a rather classic one, the Rabona. It's when a player wraps his kicking leg behind the standing leg to strike the ball. Of course, the peculiar hitting that gained its most enormous popularity due to the Argentine players back in the 1940s is still an audience favourite. To our amazement, it was actually banned. In the 1950s, Rabona was banned from professional football. Can you imagine these tricks being so cool, yet banned? Unfortunately, they were. The authorities were very conscious of players' safety at the time, and it was considered that the Rabona was just too dangerous and could quickly occur should one lose his cool. Even though it was banned, the Rabona lived on, perhaps quite often coming out in training or in lower-level matches. Only in recent years have we seen some terrific goals scored with the Rabona by Eric Lamela, Giovanni Lo Celso, and Eric Durm. It underlined once more the enduringly magical fascination of this forbidden trick. After Rabona, the donkey kick is another jaw-dropping trick, but this one is banned too. Now let's talk about the donkey kick. It's a free kick that was notably done in 1970. This kick was an instant hit, getting the title of the world's best free kick from fans. It was executed to perfection by Ernie Hunt back in 1970, when Coventry City beat Everton FC 3-1 in an English league. This free kick shows a player's creativity, which involves using a donkey kick to raise the ball for a fellow team member to strike it towards the goal. It is incredible, and you surely will like the trick, but it's considered unacceptable by the football authorities for an official match. When Kevin Nolan attempted the donkey kick from a dead ball situation, the move was forbidden yet again, as it had been banned many years ago, which means we won't be witnessing such an impressive goal in the future. How can we forget the bicycle kick when talking about banned kicks though? Another iconic move that has been made redundant by the scorpion kick, otherwise known as the bicycle kick, when players launch themselves into the air and hit the ball with their training leg, where they often dramatically end up with an overhead shot at the goal. It's a real crowd pleaser. Like the Rabona and the donkey kick, the scorpion kick was banned in 1970 for safety reasons. It was claimed that it was simply too dangerous since players might end up running into one another or making some grotesque kind of fall that could cause a serious injury. It's interesting, isn't it, about football, running and scoring? Well, we can't fight authorities when they have good reasons. Yet, in the hearts and minds of football lovers, there lives on the scorpion kick. Over the past few years, we have seen some absolute munchers from Oliver Giroud, Heinrich Mkhitaryan, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It shows what sort of skill and ingenuity these guys have to even attempt it. Another one that we have is the Elastico, otherwise known as the flip-flap. It consists of a quick dribbling trick wherein a player cuts the back ball across his body at a super fast speed, leaving behind his opponent in the dust. It's genuinely an ankle breaker. Elastico was declared illegal in the 1980s because players might lose their balance in the skill performance if they collide with opponents. That hasn't stopped players from busting it out in training and even some matches though. Neymar Jr., Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are among those who have scored some fairly impressive Elastico goals over time. Another illegal move worthy of mention is the Maradona turn. It's performed with a quick change in direction. This cuts the ball back across one's body like the Elastico, but differs in flavour. The Maradona turn was banned throughout the 1990s based on the same old suspicions regarding player safety. It has been the case with the preceding tricks, but it's still a crowd pleaser, with players again like Lionel Messi, Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo trying to add their slant to it recently. Now, let's discuss a few more recent examples of illegal tactics. For instance, the Aka flick, sometimes known as the Marcel flick. This refers to a play in which a player swiftly flicks the ball over the opponent's head and then sprints back to get it, a sight to behold. Early in the new millennium, officials outlawed the Aka flick out of concerns that players might collide or lose their equilibrium. But do you think that the players won't do it? Well, you're right, they do still pull it off. The ban hasn't stopped players from trying their luck in practice and in some matches. The fantastic goals that Neymar, Messi and Ronaldo have scored with the Aka flick over the years demonstrate how prevalent this forbidden move is in the game. Apart from these tricks, certain subtle fouls are worth mentioning here. This includes shirt pulling and holding, which are minor but definitely still against the rules. These obstruct opponents from moving, but are usually subtle enough not to be noticed. These are precisely the kinds of things that referees look for, and players can expect to be awarded free kicks or penalties, or maybe even given a yellow card. It's all about maintaining the flow and fairness of the game. Now, the penalties. So, the Panenka penalty, named after Czech player Antoine Panenka, is all about nerve. Rather than blasts it, he chips it gently down the middle and catches a diving goalkeeper off guard. It's sort of a cheeky act, but at the same time, it's pretty disrespectful. Imagine being in a crucial match and pulling off a Panenka. If you get it right, you might be hailed as a hero, but what happens if you miss? It'll look like you were rooting around for the goalkeeper. The move is not outlawed, but it is a bold play that grates people who are on the receiving end. Now, simulation or diving as most of us know it, this is when a player acts out in a pretentious or fake injury to the referee in an attempt at being awarded a foul or penalty. It can be seen in football many times and it has been a topic of debate among fans. Some players, in which Neymar Jr. is quite famous, dive a lot, but fans have never liked it. It does give the fans a lot of meme material though. This is where governing bodies like FIFA and UEFA come in to crack their whips. Diving players may also foul of receiving yellow cards, fines and suspensions. With the advent of VAR, it's getting harder to get away with it. So, drama on the pitch should be avoided. Finally, the roulette, or as some have ominously christened it, the rainbow flick. It's a basic form of dribbling where a player simply flicks the ball right up and over an opponent's head, then sprints around to retrieve it. It's actually one of the classic moves that can make or break a player's reputation within a few seconds. In fear of the possible toppling over and the occasional collision of players with their rivals, authorities banned the flick at the beginning of the decade. However, players are still testing it, and authorities temper too, but who cares? The rainbow flick is one of the most famous moves in sports history. Superstars Lionel Messi and even Cristiano Ronaldo have previously scored some amazing goals with it. Another banned and rather funny is the shirt catch. If any player wants to hold the ball inside their shirt, which looks like a pregnant woman on the ground, it is a shirt catch. Well, no one's allowed to do it because of the ban on this trick. Here you go, football fanatics. Over the years, these were some of the most iconic football tricks banned from the professional game. It's an attestation to the creativity and skill of players that, despite bans and safety concerns, some of these tricks have lived on. As they say, the show must go on. These players simply did that and began pulling out these banned tricks in training, and even in some matches, much to the delight of fans everywhere. It's a reminder that football isn't just about winning and losing, but also about expressing oneself and putting on a show for the crowd. Next time you see a player score a Rabona, a scorpion kick, a donkey kick, a shirt catch, or any other banned trick, give them a round of applause. They keep the spirit of football running alive and entertaining, even when it jeopardizes their safety. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Lastly, tell us who you'd want to see pulling the shirt catch on the pitch in the comments.